5. Jaw-dropping F-35 fighter jet facts. When the U.S. government under Bill Clinton initially thought about the idea of a joint strike fighter in 1995, it was the appropriate solution to a number of different military issues that had arisen at the time. A group of highly survivable strategic aircraft that could share similar technology to fulfill a dozen diverse missions for each of the three branches of the United States Armed Forces was the fundamental concept behind the project. It would be used by the Air Force to replace F-16 fighters that were used during the Cold War in aerial combat, the bombing of ground targets, and close air support of troops. It would be put to use by the Navy to increase the range at which carrier-based aircraft might launch strikes, and it would be used by the Marines to land quickly and easily at any location where expeditionary combat was being fought. In this video, we'll discuss 5 jaw-dropping facts about the F-35 fighter jet. The F-35 is the newest fighter of the 5th generation to be fielded by the U.S. military. It will take the place of the old generation of F-16 Fighting Falcons and A-10 Thunderbolts, now being used by the U.S. Air Force. The F-35A will bring stealth technology of the next generation, improved situational awareness, and decreased vulnerability to the United States military and its ally nations. Currently, over 700 F-35 fighter jets have already been delivered to the U.S. Air Force, U.S. Navy, and U.S. Marine Corps, putting the F-35 on track to become the global standard for modern air superiority. Here are 5 jaw-dropping facts about the F-35 fighters manufactured by Lockheed Martin. Number 5. Most undetectable aircraft. The F-35 is said to be one of the most stealthy and undetectable aircraft that has ever taken to the sky. The stealth characteristics of this 5th generation fighter jet are a primary factor in determining how successful it will be. In training exercises, the F-35 has a success record of almost 20-1 against enemy aircraft. In a war situation, it would achieve the same result against Russian or Chinese fighters thanks to its ability to absorb or deflect radar energy, hiding it from enemy pilots. In order to accomplish this effect, the U.S. Air Military essentially paints its 5th generation aircraft by hand. The F-35 is not a small aircraft. It is 51 feet in length and 35 feet in width, and it must be painted by hand with a radar-absorbent coating. Airmen with specialized training and qualifications spend a significant amount of time and effort developing the special chemical mixture and correctly applying it to the aircraft. The unique coating, which is often called low observable technology, makes it difficult for an enemy to identify, detect, or target the F-35 using radar or missiles. Number 4. Situational awareness. Pilots of modern aircraft are tasked with processing an enormous amount of data while in the air. Doing so requires them to divide their attention between the motion of the aircraft and the barrage of screens, gauges, and sensor readouts. The F-35 uses a combination of a heads-up display and helmet-based virtual reality to maintain critical information directly in the pilot's line of sight. It has 6 external cameras attached to it. Special Generation 3 helmets are used for F-35 pilots. Amazing engineering went into the F-35 helmet. It can provide night vision, infrared imagery, and video shot from underneath the aircraft, allowing pilots to effectively see through the fuselage and track targets without having to look up and down from the cockpit screens. In order to prevent the helmet from slipping off the wearer's head while in flight and to ensure that the displays are placed in the appropriate areas, each Generation 3 helmet is individually customized. Technicians perform head scans on each pilot so that they can map their unique features and incorporate them into the inner lining of the helmet. The F-35 has the ability to collect data from a broad array of sensors that are installed aboard the aircraft, as well as data obtained from other adjacent aircraft, ground vehicles, drones, and ships. It gathers all of that information, as well as data driven by the network about targets and hazards in the area, and spits it out into a single interface that the pilot can easily handle while they're in the air. 3. 3-in-1 aircraft. The F-35B was created as a replacement for the F-16 and A-10 of the American Air Force, the F-8 of the U.S. Navy, and the F-A-18 and AV-8B Harrier of the U.S. Marine Corps. The Air Force can use the single-engine, single-seat fighter in its conventional takeoff and landing variant F-35A. The Navy's F-35C variant has foldable wings, and was made specifically for use on an aircraft carrier. The U.S. Marine Corps, the British Royal Air Force, and the British Royal Navy all use the F-35B because of its capability to operate as a short takeoff vertical landing, or STOVL, fighter. The F-35B can rotate its engine downward and hover. The US, UK, Australia, Italy, Japan, Israel, the Netherlands, Norway, and South Korea all use the F-35 as the backbone of their allied air power. Also, the governments of Belgium, Denmark, Finland, Germany, Poland, Switzerland, and Thailand have placed orders for or showed interest in purchasing the plane. 2. Range and speed. The F-35 is a fifth-generation fighter with cutting-edge stealth technology, increased speed and agility, modernized sensor and information fusion, network-enabled operations, and maintenance systems. Together, these features place the F-35 among the most advanced multi-role fighter aircraft in service today. The warplane has a maximum range of 1,200 nautical miles, a top speed of Mach 1.6, and is powered by F-135 PW100 engines capable of producing 40,000 pounds of thrust apiece. As with the F-35, the F-35 PW100 was designed in two different variants, a conventional takeoff and landing or CTOL version for the F-35A and F-35C, and a two-cycle short takeoff and vertical landing or STOVL version for the F-35B. The latter features a forward lift fan. Unlike any other modern combat plane, the F-35 has cutting-edge electronic warfare, or EW, capabilities that allow pilots to pinpoint the whereabouts of and keep tabs on enemy forces. Moreover, pilots may disrupt radars and other forms of threat, and modern avionics give pilots immediate access to data about the battle space. And number 1, too expensive? Maybe, maybe not. The F-35's high price tag continues to be the primary criticism of the program. It is true that the total cost of the program, which could reach $1.508 trillion, will make it the most expensive weapons system in history. The per-unit price of an F-35A is $110.3 million, an F-35B is $135.8 million, and an F-35C cost $117.3 million, not including extras like depot maintenance, ground support equipment, and spare parts. Projected life cycle costs for the F-35 are rising over what the services claim they can afford, according to a report by the Government Accountability Office in 2021. While the true annual running cost is closer to $7.1 million, the Air Force estimated in 2018 that it could spend $4.1 million per F-35A. The Marines and the Navy made the same mistake in estimating expenses, leaving all three branches with annual budget shortages in the millions that is expected to become worse as more F-35s are added to the fleet. The F-35s, however, are expected to continue in service well into the 2070s, and it's worth noting that the monetary estimates are also expressed in terms of 2070 dollars. Even though $1.5 trillion is a lot of money, it's important to remember that the F-35 will be replacing a large number of aging aircraft and that its capabilities will be significantly above those of current fourth-generation systems. It's been stated that the F-35 will save money since it'll reduce the number of aircraft types needed to educate pilots and the number of vendors needed to maintain them. The F-35 is the finest platform to ensure that the U.S. is not outgunned in the sky, which is an important factor given that potential opponents are also producing fifth-generation aircraft. Do you think the F-35 is going to remain in service with the U.S. military till the 2070s as estimated? If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for everyday military updates. Don't forget to leave a comment in the section below. Thanks for watching.